So next up is Stefan with a presentation with an interesting title, I would say. Where do we have them? Sorry, we messed up.
Yes.
And view in full screen. You can use this.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Stefan. I'm working for Inter.link. We are a European IP carrier, if you haven't heard about us. We do have something in Switzerland as well, but this is not about marketing. This is not about AI. This is more about, we did something in our network. It broke the internet for a while. And as I'm getting older, I realized we should share whatever we do wrong so the younglings can learn. And I actually asked other ISPs if they had to do what we had to do with our network equipment, and they said no. They even have said they haven't thought about it, and thanks for the heads up. So this talk is about running the internet, and as you all are network operators, you're all doing probably a good job on keeping the internet safe, I guess. So every one of you is checking for APK invalids. Oh yes, one, great. You all filter based on AS sets? Wow, no one, great. And you all have max prefix limiters configured for your downstream? Yes, one, yeah. Well, in reality, not everyone does it. Not every downstream is following those rules. Not every tier 1 with Swedish roots, to not tell any names. And well, if you freak up, people will notice very fast. So this was another learning. So this story is about Arista routing control functions. It's about routing control functions. It's not something only Arista does. I learned Nokia does the same thing. And it's specifically about this bug ID. You can look it up if you're a Arista customer. Just go to their portal. And so RCF, if you haven't heard about RCF, the acronym stands for Routing Control Functions. It's a language that can be used to express route filtering and attribute modification logic in a powerful and programmatic fashion. This is obviously not my text. I copied this somewhere from the internet. We use RCF to control BGP sessions and apply filters to BGP sessions on Arista boxes. One of the things we do is we check for prefix lengths. We control BGP communities. We control flow spec rules, set next hops. So all the good things you can do on other vendors with complicated rules, you can do in this RCF language, which is pretty nice, actually. In our current config, or the old config, back in the old days, every peer we had configured had a designated RCF function configured, one for incoming and then one for outgoing traffic. And this was named, like as you see here, this is a v4, so it's obviously the IP version, then the ASN number, and then the in or out going after flows. And this was fine until someone came in and wanted to have multiple kind of BGP sessions within the same ASN. For example, they wanted to have one session with a default route, they wanted to have one session without a default route, and maybe one with a different AS set. So we needed to come up with something new, because now we needed different RCFs for the same kind of peer. Sorry, and we came up with a new function names. So they should include in the IP version, the peer IP, and the function type of the BGP session. And then we obviously had to do some string manipulation, because some IPs have dots in them, and some people even use colons in their IPs. Strange people. So we wrote we defined a new function. The new function names now had something like flowspec underscore the IP version, then the ASN, and then the IP address. So everything fine. And now all we had to do was just rename the RCF functions. And how we do is we use Ansible for this. So we generate the configuration via Ansible. We copy the generated config to the device, got a configuration session, copy the generated config to the current config, generate a diff, do a configuration checkpoint, and then commit a new config with a commit timer. And obviously we did this. And what could go wrong, right? We just rename some functions. And then my phone didn't stop ringing because obviously we started to be the upstream and downstream for everyone else on the internet. And this was unexpected. So we ended up here. And what happened? So in the background, if you rename a RCF function, what Arista think would happen is that all the functions that were renamed were linked to a not existing function until the compilation of the new RCF function in the background was completed. And until then, all the existing RCF functions would point into a, let's say, blank thing where we shouldn't allow any prefixes. But yeah, obviously that didn't happen. So what actually happened was, well, the RCF rules were not compiled yet. We had different types of customers and upstreams and downstreams on the same devices. And to make this short, something went wrong, and not all the RCF functions were pointed into a blank or non-compiled RCF function. They used something else, and then we leaked prefixes all over the world. I left the whole description of the vendor in here, not to blame the vendor. It's actually just to make you more aware what actually happened. So if you ever have to do this, there's some things to consider when you do this. At this time, we rolled out the change in smaller waves. So at this time, we had like 34 POPs in 15 countries. So some devices had a few customers, and some devices had many customers, also upstreams and downstreams, and IXPs and so on. At the beginning, we saw no impact, and then when we went to more populated devices, yeah, things just went wrong. So there's an official workaround and fix from Arista for this, or to make it just short, before you apply the new RCF function, just drain the sessions, makes it safer for everyone, but comes with the downside of you have to do it in a maintenance window. We have a good relationship with Arista, actually, so they fixed this bug very fast. It's fixed in those versions. You can look it up just to make you aware, because people usually do not update their boxes so often. If you're using older versions, you might be affected by this bug. Again, we are very sorry that we broke the internet. We didn't intend to do this, but this will probably happen again. Thank you.
Any questions? There's one in the front. I'm getting there.
How would you able... Hi, my name is Mihai from WWZ Energy AG. I wanted to ask you, how did you manage to fix it? Did you have a working out-of-band management network to get to the devices?
Yes. So all of our devices, all of the locations have out-of-band management, obviously. But we were not affected, only our customers were affected. So we could do everything around. So, only the customers. Now, it appeared to only a few customers every time we upgraded something, and once we noticed that shit is not going well, we obviously stopped the rollout, but we can always access our systems.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.